good evening to all of you, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. So, in last class, we discussed about OOPS concepts, okay, basics of OOPS. And today we are going to continue with the discussion. And today we will discuss about a real world use case. So, we will be building a library management system using Python OOPS concept. So, there we will build a library, okay, and we will make a system like someone is borrowing a book, someone is returning books. So this way we will be doing this. And before that, I think we should discuss about classes and objects. Okay, right? Like what is an object? What is a class? So let's talk about class first. So when we talk about classes in OOPS, so a class in Python is a blueprint or template for creating objects. Now, imagine there is a car manufacturing company, okay? They make car. So before manufacturing any car, they have to decide that what should be the color of the car, okay? What should be the dimensions? Then what should be the capacity of the car? Okay, so these kind of things they have to decide before manufacturing cars. So this is kind of blueprint for the car. Okay, so suppose they decide that we have to make car of blue color or red or black color. So the car after like while manufacturing they will follow this. They decide that we have to take capacity of 6 people in this car. So this is kind of blueprint. Same way when we build any system using Python or any other programming language. So we have to decide the class. We have to decide the blueprint. So that is nothing but the class. We will take example, don't worry about that. Then we will have object. So object is nothing but an instance of the class. Okay. This is blueprint, but this is for this object. You are deciding color of the car, but for what? For the car. There is no meaning of color without a car. Okay. If you don't have a car, how can you say that I have a red or blue? Which one? What is the capacity? You are deciding capacity for car. So car here is an object. So what happens in programming? When a class is defined, no memory is allocated until an object is created. Okay. Like there will be no memory until you create an object. There is no memory of class. So this way things work in concept of hoops. So let's talk about our task today, which is library management system. This is a real world library, not Python library, guys. Like you go to your college, there is a library, there are books stored, and you use them. So this way it happens. So we have to make a library. We have to build a system that someone borrows book, someone purchases the book. We have to record everything. Okay, so let's start it by using Python programming. Okay, so first we will define class to represent a book because that is a library. So there must be books also. Okay. So the syntax for defining a class is start using class keyword and then we will name the class. Okay. So always remember guys that while defining the name of the class, you have to start the name of class using uppercase letter. Like here you can see I have mentioned capital B. So you have to always remember that while defining any class, you have to name it using capital letter. Okay. then we will automatically it will get an indentation. Inside that, we will pass different features of it, different attributes of this class. Like, okay, this is a class, then what should be the details of it? Like name of the book, okay, author of the book, like who wrote the book, then how many copies there are available in the library. So these kind of details, like a student and library should know. So we will define the attributes here. So before that, we will write def function and we will write init function. Okay. Inside that, we will pass our parameters, which is self, then title of the book. Okay. Then who wrote the book? So we will define author also. Then we will decide that how many copies there are available in the library. Okay. Suppose there is a particular book. So we will have to decide that how many copies are available there. So we will write copies. Then we will pass different parameters like title, then author, okay. Then we will write copies, that how many copies are there. Okay. So we will move forward to indentation and we will display it like it should be readable for humans also. Okay. So we will again write a def function and we will display it so that a person like who is handling the library should know that what is the current scenario of library, how many books are there, what is the name of book, what is the author name. Then we will return it and we will write a f string. Inside that we will give like title. Okay. So we will write the code title and we will close it. Then again we will give a comma and we will write the author name, author, and who is author. So for that, inside bracket we will write self dot author. So when we will write this code, this will direct trigger to these values. Okay, here we will close it and again we will give a comma and then we will write that how many copies available there. Copies available. For that, we will write same way inside bracket. We will write self dot copies. Okay. So after that, now suppose someone is trying to borrow the book. Okay. So they should know like in which condition they can borrow and in which condition they can't. So we will define those things. So we will write a def function that will be like borrow book. Okay. So we will make conditions here, guys. If self dot copies is greater than 0. Now, why we are giving this condition? So imagine there are no books in library you are searching for. So how can a person issue that book for you? It is not possible. Okay. So there should be books like more than 0. Then only you can borrow it. And this way we will complete our code. So what will happen? First, it will check. Suppose you are searching for a particular book. So if there is book available in the library, then only it should allow you to purchase the book. Else it should not. And if there is a book, it will allow you to, like, it will return true and you can borrow the book. Else it should not. Then return false. Okay. Then we will again define a def function to return the book. Suppose someone is trying to borrow the book, but there will be person who are trying to return the book as well. Okay. So we should make function for that also. So we will make return function. Here again we will pass self. When we say self, so what comes to your mind? We are referring to the current instance. Okay. So suppose someone is returning the book. So what should it do? Suppose there are 10 books of the same. There are 10 books. Okay. Now someone is returning a book. So it should increase by 1. Okay. Now there will be 11 books. So we will increase it by 1. So this way we will define our books. Now there should be members also, like condition of the persons who are trying to borrow the book, right? So we will define class for that. Class for member. So there should be some conditions, like we will name the class as member. Now guys, we are out of first class. Okay. Now whatever code we will write, that will be for second one. Make sure that. Okay. Same way we will write def function and we will write init. There we will write self or to name that we are talking about this particular instance, and then we will write name. Okay. What is the name of the person who is going to purchase, like borrow or return the book? So there should be a name of it, him or her. Now we will pass attributes for the person, like self dot name. There should be a name of the person. Then, like, which book they borrowed or they are returning. So borrowed book. Okay. And we will make it an empty list, because in starting there will be like no books issued by the name of the person. Okay. Suppose you are just registering to the library, so you will not have like any record of them, like you didn't borrow any kind of book, so your name should not be there, like it should be a empty list. Now we will create a def function about books, like which book a person borrowed or like returned. So first we will talk about borrow. Okay. So inside that we will pass parameters like self in the sense we are talking about a particular like current instance. And now we will be talking about book, like which book they borrowed. Okay. So inside that, we will pass book dot borrow back, borrow book, sorry. Okay. And we will leave it empty. Will not pass any kind of parameter here. Now, what, like there is an empty list I was talking about. Okay. This is the empty list here. Now, if a person is borrowing a particular book, so their name, the name of the book should be added to the list. Okay. So what we will do, we will append the name of the book that a person is borrowing, and we will append that name to the list that now, like a person what was not having any kind of record. Okay. So, but now he is borrowing the book. Now we will append the name of the book. Okay. So book dot title. Like what was the title of the book? What was the name of the book? So you can see here we are giving passing the name of the book. If book is present, if that is more than one in more than zero in library, a person can borrow. When the person is borrowing the book, it should be added in the list of the person's name. Okay. So now we will print that a person is has borrowed this book. For that, we will write a simple print function there, like using f string, that self dot name, like we will we will trigger the name of the person who borrowed the book. Okay. Then we will write has borrowed the name of the book. Okay. So book dot title. Now what will happen? This will print that okay, this person has borrowed this book. Suppose name of the person is Ram and the name of the book is Ramayan. So it will print that Ram has borrowed Ramayan book. Ramayan. Okay. So, and suppose the person didn't borrow the book. So there should be a condition that it might be that person only went to the library but did not purchase any book. So it should print that person, this book is not available. Okay, suppose he looked for a particular book, but the book was not available in the library. Like this condition is true, that there is no book in library. So there should be a condition for that also. For that, we will write book dot title is not available for borrowing. Okay. So this way we are giving conditions. Now imagine that a person borrowed the book, but now someone is there like who wants to return the book. So for that also we should have the conditions. Okay. So for that we will write the code like def return book. So self and the name of the book. Okay. Then we are giving condition if book dot title in self dot borrowed books, like we will match that person is returning the book that is in the list or not, that he purchased in his history. There is a book or not. So self dot borrowed book. Okay. If that is available, then book dot return back. Okay. So we will write book dot return back. And we will remove the name of the book from the person's list at the same time. So we will write self dot borrowed book dot remove. Previously we appended the name, but now we are returning the name, like removing the name. Okay. Book dot title. Okay. So, and suppose the person is trying to return the book, which is not like he did not purchase. So there should be a condition that is like, okay, before that we have to print that person has returned the book. Okay. So we will simply copy paste the code from here. Return the book. Okay. Now we will write another code here that will be like does not have. Okay. So the person does not have the book. Okay. So now we will create the library. Okay. We will define the library. There are members now. There is book now. But there should be a library also. So we will define the class library. So there should be only few conditions for library, like class library. Okay. Here we will define def, init, and inside that we will pass again self parameter and books. So previously, like when we define library, there will be like books. So we have already defined the books. Okay. Now inside that we will press tab for give indentation twice. Then we will write self dot books is equal to books. Okay. Then again we will pass indentation and we will add the name of the books. Suppose this is a new library and there are no books. So we will add the books. We will store the books before like allowing someone to purchase, like borrow or return the book. There should be books. So self and book. Now you should think that this book we are referring here, that is nothing but here what we did. Okay, we are creating books here. So this book will refer to this one. Now inside this also we will write, like we will append the books to the library. Guys, always remember that append, what does append do? It will add to names or the items to the last of the sequence. Okay. It will add this sequence to the last. Okay. Now we will again define a def function to find the book. Suppose after storing the book, you want to know that is this book available or not. So we will write a code to find book where we will write like we will search by the name of the book. So we will write title. And guys, every time I have to write self. So always remember that self in the sense there will be multiple classes, multiple objects. So when I write self, so I'm triggering to the current instance. Okay. That's why every time I have to write like this self keyword. Now we will write a for loop that will iterate over this sequence, iterate over the library, and it will look for the books. So books here will be the iterable here. Okay. And if we will pass a condition that if book dot title that we are passing as a user there that is present in one of the titles that has been stored in library, then return book. And if there it is not present, then simply return like nothing. So we will come out of the like loop and we will write that return none means there is no book. So here we have defined three things. Yeah. So we have defined three classes. Now we will run the code together. After that, we will see the examples of it. Yeah. So code has been executed. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Typing mistake. Yeah. Now, what will we do? We will create some books. Okay. So suppose we are like I'm defining book one. So I will write like this Ramayan. Okay. So I will like book two, which is ABC. Okay. So I'm defining two books there. Sorry. I have to pass the quantity also. Okay. So there are five Ramayan books and three ABC books. Imagine. Okay. Guys, there is some technical issue, and we will continue with this in next session. So this was about like class library and like defining oops function using this to solve a problem. So we will continue with this. We will taking example of like we will be creating books and libraries name and name of the person, and we will try to purchase the book and other things. Okay. Thank you for joining us, and we will be waiting for you to join the next class. Thank you.